As our three heroes find themselves awaiting the beginnings of this next, possibly final mission, the portal before them opens up, and drifting into the upper planes, you all see the spectral form of a crystal dragon. Through it, you see these purples and lavenders. Not crystal, but amethyst. The spirit of an amethyst dragon. And as she looks upon each of you, you feel this comfort. You feel this level of almost satisfaction that things are as they should be. She looks across each of you and speaks out. I am thankful that there are those upon the other side that wish to aid the Arbiters of Isolation, while they are doing everything they can upon the plane and to interfere with the greater machinations going on. The work of mortals is limited in how dire a situation we have to ask you to enter into time and time again in close repetition. With this, as she takes in each of you, Darren, would you like to describe your hero?
Yeah, I should have thought about this coming. Darren's wearing her classical green plate armor. She's got 2 clubs with enchantments on her hips. She's got... I'm not good at picturing things in my head.
You're fine.
I'm going to stop.
Okay. With that, looking up from Darren to the Dragonborn, Torin, would you like to describe your character?
He was originally born as a blue Dragonborn, but through the magics of the world, he became he underwent a metamorphosis and became an amethyst Dragonborn. And as he looks up at this crystalline dragon of amethyst, he's kind of looking at it like, "Mommy!" And yeah.
As we change canon from sapphire to amethyst in the moment.
Actually, no, it was in the original play. It was amethyst because the psychic abilities or something.
Okay.
We were gonna go with sapphire, but that was more just sticking with the lightning aspects. The amethyst was one of the ones that had the option of the psychic abilities, the mind speak and all that.
Okay, I'm wrong. And with that, going from looking up to looking down past Darren towards Valen. Valen, would you like to describe your character?
Yes. Valen is a small halfling. His complexion matches that of his aged brown leather jacket he has on. Even in the afterlife, he's not gotten rid of it. And he still carries around his little shepherd's staff. Seeing the dragon come in, and it's about time to go. I guess Valen will grab his very oversized pack that he used to carry around on the adventures with these guys and lug that thing back on.
As you do so, taking the weight upon your fragile knees, bones creaking, the spirit of the amethyst dragon speaks once more. Thank you for aiding in this endeavor. Going through this portal, we have assured safe passage through Nelbora, the temple of planar gates that the Dominus Porta is currently using. I must be on my way to continue the work of the outer planes. While it aids him, it also provides cover. As you go, it is your decisions whether you should start with earth, air, fire, or water. But once you are done, there is one final endeavor that I will need your aid with, and that is the final severing of the great world serpent through the astral sea. Please, go now, act quickly, and call to me when you are ready, and I will traverse you through the great sea of stars and unto that great serpent. With that, you are allowed to enter through this portal back unto the world of the living, to Malpos, underneath the shrouded wings of Miskethema. And with that, for you to cross through the Temple of Nelbora to find the elemental planar chamber, and for you to make your decisions whether you start with earth, air, water, or fire.
Okay, so our choices. So I had to.
Yes, those are your choices.
I wasn't ready.
That will make it into the private. Your version, that is not making it into the public.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
thought-
That's fine.
I thought that was like you were just in a mall all of a sudden.
Well, it's off. It was off my phone, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Earth, air, fire, or water?
Do we want to start easy or start hard?
Well, I think we should start. Well, I'm not really sure what we should start with, but you know, whatever we do, I think we should do water after fire. You know, just in case.
You know what? Yeah, I buy
We're
that.
on fire. Actually, I say let's start with Earth, since it's kind of your thing, Valen.
The grow things in it. Yeah, all right, we can do that.
I was also thinking like Earth would probably be the easiest because if nothing else, we have solid ground. Like, what are we gonna do?
I'm-
We're gonna play all onto a horizontal surface. We're not gonna fall into fire. We're not gonna drown. We aren't gonna fall to our death in the
Famous
plane of
last
air.
words.
Okay,
I'm not even going to.
you got it.
I'm not even going to take a stab at trying to guess which one might be easier, which one might be harder, because, you know, it turns out for most of our plans, we're wrong anyway, so.
True, but
This is a common theme.
what would it be if classic for Darren to charge recklessly into danger anyways, because it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going to say that's how we ended up here.
So Earth?
Earth it is.
Okay.
Yep, works for me.
You all make your way towards the earthen portal. As you do so, the spirit of Miskethema having already whisked away, though you do feel still that comforting presence. And with that, there is this almost notion of thought that traces over you. The earthen trellis is difficult to find, though through the solid nature of that plane, the plane itself is its own defenses. Search fast, find it, and complete the ritual. With that, I will bring us over to our first label. And with that, as you step through this portal, you find yourself quickly shrouded in darkness, if not for the holy radiance that is the spiritual form of Darren, just giving off this confidence of light. You lot find yourselves in your first exploration challenge. So, whatever abilities you have that you wish to use to attempt to find this trellis, you have the hard-packed nature of the earthen elemental plane with the varying levels of tunnels, of wisping caverns, and soil to dig through, sand and silt. This is a full-on needle in a haystack, find that trellis. So, does anyone have an ability that they wish to use, whether it's a special ability, generally, for the base power level, an exploration ability for double the power level, or, if you happen to be an expert, you can begin with narrative abilities to whittle down this danger level for the exploration, but know that if you take too long, there will be consequences.
Allow me to go first, you guys, and let's just see how difficult this is going to be. And Valen's going to take point and cautiously explore ahead.
Okay, so using a cautious subtype exploration ability, with that you get to know whether that ability is enough to finish this challenge on its own. What level is your cautious exploration ability?
Power level 3.
Power level 3. With that, that is for an exploration that works up to 6, and you know that 6 is just not going to be enough to finish.
Vox, what was your reckless?
Vox, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, it's that have to have Discord up thing. It's sheer force. It's basically busting through or opening door kind of a thing.
What power level?
It's low. It's 1.
Okay, then I will use 6. 6 will get us started. So.
Okay, and what is this ability? What are you doing?
Well, this is going to be Valen using his absolute ridiculous passive perception while he is moving forward through this, like you said, it was a thick fog, or it was very dark, right?
So it is dark, it is caverns, it is, lifting silt, drifting earth. This is the worst of spelunking and smog and forest fires all at once.
Yeah.
Sorry, Monkey. I have a question, Josh.
Yes.
Does Torin still have pyro?
You can have a spiritual version of pyro for this adventure, yes.
Okay, well then I'm going to light it up and use that to help guide with light, that kind of a thing.
Fantastic. So with now 2 sources of light in the party, with Valen going forth, tracking the inclines and the declines as you guys move through these caverns. You find the areas where the earth becomes more packed. You find areas where you can easily wait, this might be a dead end, but if we go exactly here and just pointing Torin in the red area, just knocking down sections of wall and burrowing through, you guys start to kind of rotate around a central space in 3-dimensional Earth as you are getting rather close to where this trellis is. You just have not found it yet. So with that, we are 6 points in. And does anyone have a special ability they want to give? Do we want to fall back on narrative abilities from an expert? What do we want to do?
You said we're basically circling around it. Can we sense the direction we need to go?
Generally, yes. Though you do need more points put into this.
Okay, well, because I was going to think if maybe I go ahead and use some sheer force and try to bust through into the direction we need to get to.
Would you like to use your level 1 exploration?
Yep, let's do that, sheer force.
Okay, and with that, as you guys start to rotate around, as Valen continues to find the spots just easy enough to break through, but almost like a maze designed for you not to reach the center, Torin just gets fed up and goes barreling through. Valen, no, it's not that wall. Torin doesn't care and just starts hacking with Pyro, this massive flaming axe, through the hardest parts of stone. Who cares? And as that crumbles away, that sheer force, your exploration ability, is going to be enough to finish this challenge, and the reckless part does not overtake because you guys have hit the danger level, so you have safely reached this trellis. This trellis, like having onions of silt and crystal and earthen formations around it, is in the center of this cavernous pocket. How would you guys like to complete your ritual to destroy this trellis?
I think y'all earned this one.
I'll leave it to Monkey since he did the heavy lifting on that one, unless he doesn't have anything, in which case I can go.
Is this, we're using abilities here, or is this narrative?
This is all narrative. This is, you guys have completed the challenge, and now you can finish up this bit of the story however you wish.
Oh, okay. You know what? Valen will do what he typically does in ritual situations here. He's gonna try to channel some power of Yandala here. Maybe and see if she can help me through this. She's always been there for me.
And with that, despite some gods being on the side of the Dominus Porta, Yandala, a deity of halflings, yes, but also home, hospitality, the common folk, recognizes that maybe now is the time that the gods need to let go of their children and let them grow up on their own. And with that, all the layers of this trellis just break away. And with that, the connection of the elemental plane of Earth to the prime material breaks as well. You lot quickly find yourselves returning through the caves back to that portal, jumping back through to the Temple of Nelbora, and with that, your first of the elemental trellises destroyed. You now have air, water, and fire.
So Valen has, just to clarify why he called on Yandala there, he has had multiple conversations with her about this, and they have decided that the whole, his god is not about her physicality being here. It's about what her message, right? The home and hearth. You don't need her for that.
That is extremely sweet.
Well, that kind of like that makes my joke a little less funny. So I'm gonna be like, Torin, you had the right idea. I was about to smite a wall.
Or break stuff.
I'm so kind of frustrated that I don't know what to do in this kind of situation except walk around at a light source.
Oh, we'll need you before it's over, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Besides, you're our glow stick.
Less reassuring, but thank you.
Actually, guys, I think for our party makeup, one of the more difficult ones for us to deal with is probably going to be air. What do you say we do that next?
I was also thinking, like, we just did Earth, so, like, Earth and air are kind of opposites, so maybe that knocked air out of balance a little bit, made it a little easier.
I'm going to, I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to say, since elemental was more of an exploration thing, air is likely going to be social, so fire is likely going to be combat. I'm not sure what water would be.
Drowning.
Probably exploration again. We burnt both our exploration abilities in the first one. Now we're gonna go through water with like nothing but narrative abilities and brute force. I'll save this money.
Yes.
But yeah, I definitely agree that fire is gonna be combat because fire, like, I don't know, fire.
fire consumes.
Fire burns. But yeah, let's do air first.
You okay with that, monkey?
Yes, and watch me be completely wrong.
Okay.
Well, I figure to me it seems like it'd be likely the most difficult, so I'd rather get that out of the way.
Okay. With that, I'll go ahead and transfer you guys. And as you approach the portal to the elemental plane of air, once more you feel that presence of Miss Gathema providing notions of assistance in this endeavor. And with that, she does speak out. You have found the earthen trellis, and now so diametrically opposed, elemental air, though in the balance of this world, somehow similar. Where first you burrowed through nothing but absolute rock, now you shall find yourself upon the currents and the winds of nothing. And with that, you must find within the eternal sky that trellis. And we have a second exploration challenge for you as you guys pop through the portal and then just start falling.
At which point, I will grab a hold of the backs of the shirts of Valen and Darren and pop my spectral wings so I can fly. So at least we have some up, down, left, and right.
Okay. Doing so, grabbing both of your companions, your psionic wings sprouting out, not having to actually flap, but being this influence, you begin to focus through your iron will, and with this, you are granted some time of personal capability, though your concentration, like most things, will eventually grow thin. You guys are once more on a timer to find your trellis.
We don't have any more narratives, right, guys?
Nope.
Explorations.
Exploration.
I have a narrative.
The only one I got left is social and combat.
Okay. I will start this off with a narrative. Narrative ability, power 1. Valen knows that the wings Torin has don't last for very long, so I will wait until that's about up, and I will polymorph into a giant eagle and carry them.
Okay. Giving you guys a bit more leisure in how you go about this. That is 1 point given towards the total of this exploration danger level. With that, time is ticking. You guys may continue to rely on Valen to solo this with just narrative abilities, though that will certainly drain the timer very quickly. You guys may have to rely on creative use of one of your other special abilities, not getting the bonus points for it in the proper context, but they will certainly speed things up.
I'm gonna obviously use my perception looking around. My perception, of course, ain't as good as Valen's, but essentially visually see everything I can see.
Okay. Keeping a heavy eye outwards looking, you see other great beasts wisping through the sky. You see clouds almost dancing with each other. It is quite magnificent. With that,
Oh!
Go ahead.
Because we're using once dead characters, do I still have the eye?
If you have internalized that into your identity.
I didn't write it down, but I mean, it's Thorin Reborn, essentially, so I would kind of think it's still there.
Okay, you have internalized that into your identity. You have your, for lack of a better term, your Millennium Eye.
in which case I will attempt to use a true sight in it.
Okay. With that, attempting to use a true sight, I'm going to ask you to sacrifice one of your other special abilities just for the power level. Which ability are you sacrificing to activate the eye?
Okay, fair. Let me look. Ooh. Boy. Let's go with the intimidation. That's power level 3.
Okay. With that, as you focus your spiritual energy into this orichalcum eye, you start to see other layers of this reality. And you start to see almost this vortex. Following the currents of these winds, you begin to recenter yourselves. Valen carrying with you directing over top. You guys have not yet completed this challenge, though you are a majority of the way done. With that, though, you do feel this internal presence of Miskathema. I have already completed half of my outer planes. Are you done yet? And with this, we have reached the counter of actions on this exploration challenge of 2. And that is going to lead us to 2 points of plot damage, as you guys are not completing them as fast as she needs you to.
Okay. How many points is plot? Is plot damage just our hit points reduced, or what is that?
Plot damage is going to be to your final score.
Okay.
Yeah, I think technically the plot has like almost infinite HP, except that it just continues to subtract from our score.
Correct.
So like, we could complete everything and do perfect except for like taking a bunch of plot damage and then have 0 points at the end.
Exactly.
With that, to kind of jump in here, with now that I kind of sort of located it with the eye and the vortex that you described, I will head us that way. And when my wings lose, then Valen can take over with the giant eagle.
Okay. Well, with Valen as the giant eagle, you guys zoning in on where this is, following those trails of otherworldly energy. I now must ask if we are going to continue on with Valen with just another narrative ability, or if someone has a special ability they want to use to try to finish this up. You guys do know that the timer on this is 2 actions, so you guys essentially have 1 free action available before you need to be very considerate of whether or not you can finish.
So we're down to 1 diplomacy skill, and that's the one that if I were to use any skill here that could possibly be like used for anything, it would be that skill.
What power level is your diplomacy?
2.
2. Okay. Well, keep in mind that you guys have yet to face a social challenge, and in a social challenge that is worth 4 points. So,
or it just solves the problem.
It does.
So
hear me out.
I don't want to
before you do that.
But I think of that, or like heal one of us, or take an attack, or smite. And I can't just smite a cloud to fix this.
Well, let's hear out Monkey.
Yeah.
So I can use my narrative 1, which gives us 1. He said we're at a majority. We've used 4 points, which means we've got 2 to 3 points left. So you can either sacrifice your 1 and we gamble that it's 2 points, and we take another plot damage and I finish it up in the next one, or you sacrifice your 2 and we guarantee that it's finished up.
None of y'all take damage. I'm going to heal you, Torin, so you can just use your eye a little more.
Okay. And with
that actually makes a little sense.
that's fantastic. So that's your power level 1? Okay.
Play on hands, baby.
And with that, pumping energy into Torin, allowing for us to focus on this endeavor, you lot continue to spiral in, hit a couple of the weird turns on the currents, and eventually find floating in space the trellis. This one, almost an obelisk, but it's a star design, as many different directions as could be considered up all have this blossoming of a trellis. So as many directions as could be considered as pointing up are all blossoming forward as a trellis. And with that, I open it up for you guys to destroy the trellis.
Does anybody want to take this?
Thorin, I think you earned this.
Alrighty, in
I'll
which
smash them.
case, as we get close enough, I'll let Valen let go of me so I can kind of jump on it and just start physically ripping it apart piece by piece.
Taking off the limbs of a tree as you go from the top to the bottom. Just with that, fracturing this one as well. You then jump back upon the back of the polymorphed Valen, very much like a giant eagle. You lot wing around, get back towards that portal, and soaring through, skydiving through, you back into Nelbora. Rocketing back into Nelbora, you have 2 elemental planes remaining, water and fire. Earlier, you joked about how maybe it's good to do the fire before the water because, that sort of stuff. It's your choice whether you want to continue on with that logic.
I stand by it. That said, I think both are social encounters, so I think we're screwed. Like, not screwed, but I think we're in trouble.
Yeah, I like doing fire because I think that, like you guys, that's going to be a lot of combat. That said, most of my stuff is combat. I kind of think we'd be better off hitting the water first, even though I know we don't got nothing to put ourselves on. We're dead. What does it matter?
Well, I no longer think it's going to be combat. I think both of those were exploration, right? I think that, like, this might be combat, but it also might be social. And then water is also social, and then we just have one, like, larger combat. And either that, or, like, this is a combat, this is a social, and then getting into the final one is a social and a combat.
Right. What do you think, Monkey? AKA Valen.
I don't know. I was wrong on the last one, so I quit thinking. I choose fire.
Okay, we got 2 for fire, 1 for water, so fire it is.
Worst thing to happen is Suzar burns.
Okay. So I'll move you guys and then get my description in.
I've been made aware that my new art looks like it has jaundice. Colorblind people stay losing.
So
Yeah, he does look a bit sick. I'm sorry, but he does. He looks ill.
It's not too late to fix the skin tone, but I might have to. That might be a editing bit.
That's just. Sorry.
I was just gonna say either that or Darren. Turns out, Darren, as a human, has a bit of like whatever Malpos's kind of Polynesian kind of.
Oh.
I was gonna say that was a spiritual glow coming through.
It could be your spiritual glow.
Yeah. No. Let's. We're gonna throw that into the canon whenever we start, like, after the transition. We're just gonna, like, well, throw that in like it was always true.
Okay, well, it'll be easy with being in a world of fire. So just, the complementary tones. But yeah, so as you guys approach once more this portal to the elemental plane of fire, you have, again, once more, Miskathema's soothing voice coming through to guide you. Where you are placed out into the general wilds of the previous planes. The elemental plane of fire is one of industry and one of grandeur, and you will get to witness one of the greatest locations that the plane of fire has to offer. With that, as you pass through, you are going to find yourselves not amid lakes of fire, but within a great promenade of an ornate city. You see golden and orange metallic buildings and roofs, great curving architecture, the glamour of gold and jacinths glittering about. I present to you the city of brass. They know of the trellis, and the Grand Sultan of this city has based his palace around it, as others among the outer planes too have done. I do not wish you to go and fight. This is a place of Azers, of Ifrit, of the great fire genies capable of bending reality to their will. You must convince them that our cause is a good one. And with that, as you guys approach the Grand Sultan's palace, we have a social challenge for you. So as a reminder, with social challenges, you may give any ability within however you wish to narrate them. You may give the abilities as simple points. Social challenges have social abilities worth double, though I think we're out of those maybe. No one has a social ability left, correct?
Untrue. I'm still very diplomatic.
Okay.
I used my lay on hands last night.
Yes, you did. So with that, I don't know if you want to gamble on it because you don't have many points for this, but every social challenge is divided between diplomacy, deception, and intimidation. And if you wish to gamble the points, if you get it right, if your ability matches the situation, that one ability can complete the challenge no matter what. However, if you get it wrong, those points are wasted and don't count towards it. With this, diplomatic challenges are for challenges where reason is wanted, peace is wanted, people are willing to negotiate and work towards a common end, or even an uncommon end if it's worth it. Intimidation can be to bully those of weak will or those of cowardice, but it can also be to impress those that appreciate a firm hand, strength, that sort of thing. And deception, while it can be to deceive the gullible, it can also just be general shrewdness and keenness and cleverness within the negotiation. So perhaps something like dealing with fae or devils or things might, depending on the personality of the entity, be something where deception is good. So it is your choice as you approach the Grand Sultan's palace whether you guys want to make a good formal case and just spend a bunch of points, whether you want to bargain on Darren's diplomatic nature and the old razzle-dazzle, or if you want to not do that.
So go ahead, Valen.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think I got like the play, right? What is the Sultan? Is it like a genie, perhaps?
It is a genie.
No,
it isn't a freet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he meant the title.
Fair, but no, I am a little familiar with that one. I watched Aladdin.
So this is what happens if Jafar won.
So I'm seeing a bit of opportunity here, a little room for negotiation. If we cut off the mortal plane, those gods are going to lose a lot of power because they don't have worshippers accessing them anymore. And you know who doesn't lose power? Genies. You know whose, like, place in the world would go up? I'm not saying that's the, like, diplomacy way we, like, oh, can we destroy this thing so that the gods lose their influences and, like, genies get an overall step up in the world? But I am saying that that is a diplomacy route, if we want to go that way.
Do you want to gamble it?
Either way, it's either way it gets double point.
Well, no, if you gamble it, you lose the points.
Oh, I'm willing to gamble it. I think, like, Darren doesn't lie. Not really. He's not good at that. And this is not the kind of place where intimidation works. I'm just gonna, like, be straight up with them. I think in the city of Wrath, they want a good deal, and I think we have a good deal for them.
I mean, if that's what you... If you think it's that... If that's what you think it is, yes, go for it. I was gonna say, with my narrative 1 and your 2s, that's 5 points. So we'd be close to finishing that. But if you think you can finish it in one shot, I think that's a good go. It's going to cripple us if it doesn't work, though.
That will screw us over, but second thing, because, like, they've been like 8 points each. So even if we do get to, like, 5 off that, that's still 3 more rounds. That's a lot of flat damage.
I have an idea if you think we need a couple extra little something to it.
Go on.
Use my mind speak thing. I'll burn my backlash skill for it. If I can do that.
What level is that?
That's a 2.
Okay, so if you did that, added another narrative, that's 3 points guaranteed. With your 2, the 5 in the original, we'd only take 1 plot damage, or 1 round of plot damage, I think.
I'm willing to take a safe route and do that.
So do that then. We doing that?
Yeah.
I'm
fine with that. Go ahead, Bailey.
I'm okay with either, but again, if you are convinced that play will work and it's diplomacy, I say go for it.
I think it would work, but I also respect the fact that we don't have a good backup plan if it fails, other than take like a bazillion plot damage or use a lot of abilities inefficiently.
Yeah, I say we.
Way.
I still got a couple things in the tank after this. I think it's better to go ahead and use a low skill like backslash for the points for my use that psychic and make sure that we get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to take that route. We're gonna play it safe.
Okay, we're playing it safe. Okay. Because the order of who goes when can kind of matter, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Darren talking, or do we want to start with a big backslash entering the room, or something narrative from Valen? Where do we want to start? What's the first action?
I think it might be good to let Valen, let me loosen everybody up with a little drink, bring a little halfling joy down here to the fire plains.
And then after that, I say F goes, and then I do a little mind speak, kind of. Do it.
There it goes.
I vibe with it.
Okay. So we're starting off with just a narrative ability from Valen, getting that free point in there at the exchange of a single action. So there's going to be 1 point there. Is there any particular narrative you want to put on, starting this off with halfling hospitality?
Oh yeah, since Valen spent all this time up in the spirit realm, he's actually perfected that the Warden's brew, and this big backpack is a lot bigger on the inside, and I've got a couple barrels. So I'm just I've got flasks and flagons, and I'm passing them around, and let's enjoy ourselves.
Okay. Upon doing so, while this city of brass is ruled by Ifrit, certainly it's not everyone. There's the bronze-skinned, flaming, bearded-haired Azers. There's little mephits and elementals and weirds and just all these things, as you are essentially sharing a very special sheep milk alcohol that burns because it's fire, but as you do so, you're definitely getting attention to then open the floor for Darren. Darren, you've already been very vocal about what the plan is. Are you good to let it set at your rhetoric, or do you want to add anything to your rhetoric?
I'm just gonna add in the fact that no matter what happens, the times are changing. So if we don't get our way, other people are getting their way in a much bigger and much more impactful way that harms them in the relative way of things. They would have a little more influence on the mortal plane themselves, but other people would gain much bigger influences and kind of push them out in a whole percentage way. So I don't know, I'm just gonna throw that in there.
That's fantastic. And then as a reminder, your social ability is level 2?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be worth 4 points, bringing your guys' total thus far up to 5. We have not hit the length of the encounter yet, nor the danger level that you need. So with that, we then go on to Torin. Torin, with your mind speaking, anything else you want to add to that narrative as you are throwing out your level 2 ability?
Just speaking to their minds, saying, believe him, trust, it'll be better for you.
Okay. As you do so, we reach the length of this encounter, which is three actions. So we hit our first point of consequences, and turns out the Sultan does not like it when you try to mind speak, and he is going to, the intention is to snap his fingers, have you burst into flames, and be teleported about 50 feet underneath the nearest lava pit. This is a 5 plot damage consequence for not completing this with the high stakes of speaking to an Ifrit Sultan. Though I think Valen might have something to say about that much plot damage.
Yes, I am going to react to that and use my Power 5 plot defense on this. Oh God, I don't even know how to do this. I don't know what to say to smooth this over. Valen's gonna try to channel that same energy that he did when he was talking to that tower.
Yeah, this isn't the first time that Torn has actually kind of pulled this exact thing.
You're right, yeah.
So, we do have experience dealing with this exact problem.
With that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so, Valen's a little more ready for it now.
That he is. And with that, just you pick up immediately with your massive passive skills, you pick up, oh, this is not the play, this is not the play, and like you are like shoving drinks into your companion's hands. You immediately like break off on this giant story of things that you lot have done in the past, which is very non sequitur in the moment of like trying to convince them, but it becomes this like, oh no, like here's our merit, here's our resume, here's our CV. This is why you should have listened to us as you are socially drowning out what Torin is doing. Those points from Torin do count, but for the narrative, kind of drowning that out to try to calm things for the moment. So yeah, you guys are 7 points deep. You are not yet done. This was a length 3 challenge. So, if nothing else, before you guys decide what other special abilities you might want to spend on this, you do know that Valen does have a round or two of continuing the narrative ability before you guys approach the consequence for a second time.
Yeah, so I can get off 2 1s before we need to sacrifice something.
Correct. If that's the play you want to go with, that is the mechanics of the game available to you.
What do you guys want to do? I'm okay with doing that, but I don't know if you guys have anything to. I've got a 4, 1, and a 2.
I've saved my 3, 4, 5.
Okay, yeah, we wouldn't want to sacrifice any of those. And that's all you've got left too, right, Torin?
I've got 4 and 5.
Okay, so it would be, I might be able to, maybe we finish it up with 3 narratives.
I can give you an idea of one of the narratives.
Sure.
You just like make Darren start juggling her gloves and some other things in the background. Like just to like
yes,
add some visual entertainment to your stories and stuff. Like Darren juggle. Well, not a juggle.
No, you're gonna reenact this because if I'm using 3 narratives, that's for 3 actions. I am describing in just painstaking detail. I'm talking like beyond Tolkien level description of our descent into Vikugan. And why? I don't know. This Valen doesn't really know. Well, this is just going to convince them to do it because they should trust us because we're really cool and Darren did a good job.
Okay. And with that, just pummeling in with 3 narratives, hoping that it's enough. As you do so, you are going to reach the danger level of this encounter, beating it, and yeah, like Darren made some very good cases, but you guys didn't have the oomph. But hearing everything going on, the fact that you have a mighty paladin playing performance circus monkey to Valen, there's this degree of appreciation for Valen as a notable elder. It's a good thing you didn't gamble. This was not a diplomacy. This was an intimidation for appreciating a strong hand, as the Efreet are a race of slavers and mighty conjurers. You lot eventually are given permission to do what you need to, as they don't care as much for the fire trellis as something to own as you wanted it. So of course they can't just give it to you. Also, it makes a wonderful chandelier as you look up to the giant dome as the giant beacon of wrought fire is the trellis. So with that up above, you lot may complete your ritual to destroy it in whatever means you see fit.
Hey Valen, not to toot your own horn or anything, but do you want to toot your magic horn?
I was thinking I was gonna ram it.
That also works. It's not gonna like fire. It's not gonna put it out.
No. I heard chandelier and I wanted to crash it.
That works too.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my spectral ram ring, the halfling torque, and just all three charges into it. Poof, poof, poof.
Okay. And with that, as it bends and contorts out of shape and popping and falling to the center of this grand ballroom to explode into nothingness, you have now severed the third of the elemental trellises. With that, leaving this room before any other social missteps of those of ultimate cosmic power, you return to the portal within the City of Brass to get back to the Temple of Nilbora. Returning with smoke behind you into Nilbora, you have a single portal remaining. One that does not now give you many choices, but simply having to complete the water elemental plane. Are there any notes you lot wish to make before entering that portal?
God,
Yeah, guys, I think we should go for the water now.
Oh man, I thought we could
Yes.
go there again. Yeah, let's go for water.
With that,
One last
Sorry,
go.
Monkey, you actually sound like you had an idea there. What was that?
No,
What?
I was being dumb.
as was I. I was just gonna be like, thought we told you about mind speaking.
Ah. Hey, it was a good idea. It just blew up in our faces. That's all.
As always.
With that, you all approach the final elemental portal, going through for one of the last times you feel that presence of Miskathema come over you, and that within that calm there is this notion that the calm will not last. It will not be difficult to find this trellis, as it is at the center of a massive whirlpool within this plane of endless seas and oceans. Though with that, it is a source of power, and the whirlpool draws all in the vicinity near. You will not have time to simply complete your ritual. You must first make the area safe, then you may do so. With that, I bring you over to our first combat. And with that, as you guys come through this portal, you'll be starting within the region of the map surrounding the trellis. Each of these different colors, I hope they're distinct enough, is a different region on the map. So once more, in this combat, on your turn, you may move one region and perform an action, whether it's a basic narrative, basic attack, using a special ability. Alternatively, if you simply need to move two regions and that's it, you can move two regions instead. With this, as you guys get yourselves around this trellis, which is itself its own whirlpool portal, you lot find that there's this cracking of a thunderstorm underneath you, as you guys are within the skies far above the Everstorm Sea. This being one of the multiple portals that channels into a mixture that forms. You will not want to fall through that portal and get dumped through demi-planes of space where the Everstorm is conjured, but this is where you are, and as you come in, there are multiple entities that will quickly gain your attention. A young kraken, and then waves of contorted marrow, these monstrous merfolk. There are legions of warriors, as well as a number of kraken priests. So, as we get into our first combat, shuffling our initiative deck, the first individual that gets to act is Valen. Valen, what would you like to do?
That is horrible for me. More of a reactor, so...
With that, I should note that the Kraken is a champion. You can see the health bar for his danger level. And then all the rest, despite having different abilities, all the rest are minions. So when it comes to it, anyone can use a basic attack to defeat a minion.
Okay. I will... I will move just this one and wait here. And you said something about seeing health. I see no health on anything.
There you go. You should be able to see the Kraken now.
Ah. Okay. I was also wondering if that was a token or a part of the map. I wasn't sure.
Nope, that is the young Kraken. Okay, so you are simply moving one region. With that, we'll go to the next initiative draw, and that is going to be Darren.
Orin, are you feeling like cutting down a lot of people or fighting the big one?
I could do either or. That's all I really got left anyway, but yeah.
Can you cover the small ones?
Yep, I was kind of thinking the ones where Valen's at, but...
Because I want to fight a Kraken.
Well, you just go and crack-a-lack that then.
I'm running head first in the Kraken lane.
Okay, so you're going to move 2 regions towards the Kraken?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a turn. With that, we will go on to our marrow. So this is not going to be the priests, but this is going to be the marrow soldiers, of which some of them are going to move 2 regions into the outer shell, and then the other 2 are going to move 2 regions into the stagnant lagoon, following the movement of Darren towards the Kraken. With that, we're going to move on to Torin. Torin, despite wanting to take on many, you only have 3 within the outer shell, which you could move to this turn if you wished.
Yeah, therein lies the quandary. I got 1 shot at this pretty much. Boy, oh boy.
You don't have to use your big ability now. You could just move in, kill 1, and then wait for them to move.
Yeah, let me move in here, and I'll go ahead and use... I'm sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, for some reason now it's working without the thing popped up. I'll go ahead and use my standard attack on one closest to Valen.
Okay, how would you like to defeat them?
Just straight down the middle.
Fantastic. With that, we will go on to our next initiative, which is going to be our priests. And with that, one of our priests is going to... Yeah, one of our priests is going to go ahead and move into the outer shell. And as it goes into this swirling water around this kind of orb around the water trellis, it is going to bring with it this frigid cold that just grows out into these great spears of water. And this is going to do a burst attack. And with this is going to do 1 damage to both Valen and Torin. So.
Question.
Yes.
Defense ally. Is that a reaction?
Yes, that is a reaction, so if you want to use it, you can prevent Torin from taking damage.
Nah, actually, no. Never mind. I won't.
Okay, so as the frigid waters grow throughout, both of you will take 1 damage, and you are both down to 9 health. With that, our next Kraken Priest in the Tumult Waters is going to move 2 regions, and it's going to go through the flowing current, get whisked along the flowing current, and pop out within the stagnant lagoon as well. And our final one is going to move to the water trellis. I actually can't even get to the water trellis. It's just going to get to the outer shell as well. Despite being on the opposite side of the map, it functions as the same region as everyone on the opposite side, so anything that affects a bunch of minions would affect it as well. So we have that, and that's going to be all of our Kraken Priest's turns, at which point we go to the Kraken! The Kraken, seeing Darren just swimming right at it, is going to have tentacles, maw, teeth, beak, just flurrying all around. And it's going to attack Darren for 4 damage.
Which is fine.
So, as you are fighting this Kraken, and it has the advantage in the water, it's definitely trying to get the upper hand over you. With that, that is the Kraken's turn, and we go to the reshuffle of the initiative deck. So if you just give me a moment, we will get this done. I have done a shuffle. Monkey, can you just give me a number 1 to 4?
4.
Okay. And then Torin, can you give me a number 1 to 4?
Let's go with 3.
Okay. Cool. That way you guys had a little bit of influence on the shuffle, and it wasn't just whether I did it bad. The first person drawn, once again, is Valen.
You did it bad.
It's cool, it's cool. I'm gonna actually just take a movement down here into the stagnant lagoon with Darren. And is this priest considered as the minion, so I can like just basic attack that guy?
Yeah, you totally can.
Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna come over here and narratively, you know, since Valen doesn't really do much attacking, I'm gonna come over here and do dissonant whispers. Make it run away, which will make Darren slap it down. Because that's what a good war coach does.
Fantastic. Wonderful. So that's 1 move, 1 action. You're good. We move on to Torin. Torin, you are currently in a region with 4 minions.
I'm actually going to try and pull them with me and come down here, join my buddies Valen and Daniel.
Okay. Going down with Valen and Darren, trying to get them to come with you. Anything else on your turn?
I'll go ahead and slap down this top guy with an action attack.
Okay. So, one of the Mara warriors also slain. With that, we're going to go to the Kraken. And with that, the Kraken continuing, like, it got the upper hand on Darren. You two come down here, and then more tentacles reach out, grab you. It is going to do its group attack. So where its solo attack was just a straight 4 damage, it's going to do its group attack. And with that, its group attack is going to hit each of you and do as much damage as the number of Kraken priests. So as they channel power into the creature, each of you are going to be taking 2 points of damage. You guys are all in the same region, so anyone who happens to have defense allies abilities can target either of your allies.
Yes, now I will use...
Oh, go ahead. We had the same plan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I was going to use mine on Torin this time.
And what level is your defense ally?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2. It is a 2. And this is going to be my the big spectral sheep that goes over top of him and makes him fluffy.
I am gonna say you have a group heal, right?
I do. Yeah, that's why I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for you guys to take a lot of damage.
Well, I'm already damaged.
Yeah, but
So if you let
not
him
enough
take
for me to...
the group heal later.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll do Darren. Darren will be fluffy.
Okay, so Darren, you do not take damage as your holy aura then becomes a fluffy aura of sheep wool. So you're not going to take any damage from this. And then Darren, did you have a defense ability you wanted?
Balin, I got you back. It's -3, but I think it's worth it.
I would save it until like a bigger hit. Like
All right.
my heal, my group heal is a power 4, so that's 8 healing, right?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
I'll save it.
So for a group healing, it is the power level to each target.
Oh.
It's the solo healing that gets doubled.
Oh. I should read better. My apologies. I can heal you for 4.
That's nice. I'll save it then.
Okay, so at this point we only have the one defense ability going off, so Darren, you are not affected by the second damage from the Kraken, though both Valen and Torrent, you will be taking 2 damage, so each of you are down to 7 health.
Yep.
With that, we continue on to the Mara Warriors. And the Mara Warriors are going to all conglomerate into the stagnant lagoon, which at this point I should say is no longer stagnant. The amount of movement in here, that is all turned up into bile and nastiness. And with that, each of them are going to make their own attacks against each of you. So there are 3 of them. There are 4 enemies. So each of you is going to be taking an attack for 1. And then Valen, you are doing the most flourishes of magic and things. So the additional attacker is going to go towards you. So that is 1 damage coming in at Darren, 1 coming in at Torin, and 2 coming in at Valen, as you have all these harpoons and javelins and spears and nets of general chaos in the waters.
Ow.
Okay. With that, we go on to Darren. Darren, it is finally your turn once again. You charged the Kraken, and a lot of crap went down as you've been wrestling with the tentacles and the mouth and the beak and all of that.
So do I tell it like a mild die or an extreme die?
I think this is a heavy die.
A heavy die? Alright, level 5 smite. I smite it with my main hand, I smite it with my offhand, and I bonus attack to smite again.
So this is a level 5 solo attack that counts for 10 damage, correct?
Yeah.
That is a kill. That is a kill. How would you like to do that?
Bang. Bang. Offhand. Bang. But all 3 of them like glowing, radiant sparks flying out. The problem solved, guys. That was Kraken.
Turns out when you took significant damage from the crushing tentacles, you took some damage from it bringing you to the serrated mouth and the beak, but that just gets you right to its center for the triple smite on the cephalopod body head combo, and that easily kills things that don't have thick hides.
Thank you for letting me have it, Torin. Thank you for the help, Damon. If you need me, I'll be dying to whatever the priests are gonna do, probably.
Okay. And with that, we do go to the priests. And the first priest... This is interesting now. You know what? They're gonna go for it. First priest is going to use their water powers and their control of the currents to suck you guys into the outer shell. Second priest is gonna use the same ability to suck you guys in towards the water trellis. You guys are one priest turn away from being sucked through the water trellis, tumbling through the demi-planes of combining the elements of air and water to eventually end up in the Everstorm itself. But yeah, that's their turn. No damage done. They're going for the long-term one-shot to kill everything. We'll see if the play works out for them. I don't think it is, but... Oh, you're the heroes, and you deserve moments of heroism. So as I shuffle through, the first in the initiative order is going to be Torin.
Alrighty, I am going to move over here. I guess I actually got to go into a zone. So I'll move there, and I will pop this guy out.
Okay, saving a lot of the big abilities, whether your own volition or the regions just aren't working out for you.
They were close, but those priests didn't come in.
They didn't come in, and then they pulled you out. Anything else for the narrative before we move on to the next turn?
No, I think we're good.
Valen, you remained close to the top. Valen, what do you want to do?
I am going to step over here, and I'm just going to whack this guy. What did Valen have? I'll use the ram ring, the halfling torque on this fella here, and pop him out of there. That's it.
Okay. As you blast him moving forward. The priests went next, so good job there. And the Kraken is dead. And we move on to the Marrow Warriors. And with that, they will split. They're all moving into the region. It's all the same region, but they will split 2 and 2. Some going after Torin, some going after Valen. Each of them stabbing out, grabbing, trying to net you and then shiv you and generally barbarically destroy you. That's going to be 2 more damage.
But can I, if somebody's already taken a turn, can I do the reaction, have them do a turn again?
Yes, you can.
Okay, could you put the Marrow Warriors back?
Sure. What you looking to do?
Torin, you want to go again and kill all of them before they come down here?
You would have been better off leaving them in place.
No, you get to go again. You get movement and hit.
Oh, right, yeah, actually, you're right. It works
as opposed to getting smacked twice each time.
So mechanically what's going on is going to be that Valen, when it's the Marrow's turn, you are going to reactive command, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm pulling out the War Coach's bullhorn, and I'm going to say, Torin, go get them before they hit us.
And what power level is that?
It's just a 1.
Okay. Torin. So, Torin, on your turn, now that you've been granted a bonus turn, you can move a region, and then whatever ability you happen to use is going to be treated as 1 level higher.
Well, this is definitely going to kill him because it's a group attack. It's a level 5, and these guys got 1. So, hold on. Massive Cleave.
Massive Cleave. Okay, so this is functionally a power level 6 with the War Coach's bullhorn. And that is enough to kill up to 12 enemies. How would you like to do this?
They're just bunch of heads just popping like... Sorry. They're just bunch of heads just popping like weeds.
Okay. And with that...
See why you wanted to say that.
Uh-huh. That's going to slay the remainder of the enemies in the area, opening up you guys the space and the time and the safety to destroy the water trellis.
I would like to RP smite the water trellis.
Yeah. As you just... Have you seen the Blue Man Group? Have you seen them play drums on the drums with the water on them? That.
Yes.
Well, welcome to Darren's one-woman show. With that, destroying the portal below you, rocketing back up towards the portal above to dump back out into Nelbora.
Doing pretty good on plot damage.
You guys are doing really
yeah, we
well.
almost took -5, but we took care of that.
So with that, as you guys are returning through the portal actually like stripping the water from you. Like if it's its choice, it is preventing any water free form to pass through. So you actually get back out into Nelbora dry. It is here that you once more meet, already waiting for you, as we saw that Miskethema was moving faster than you lot were. Miskethema waiting. I have already finished my planes that I was occupied with, but now all the rest of the Dominus Porta's influence are meeting in the Outlands, meeting in that plane that is both concordant neutrality and not part of the plane structure. They are attempting to bring all of the planes crashing together. But there is something we can do to prevent them now that they do not have footing. I previously spoke of the Great World Serpent. There are myths, tales, entities. There are those of Isgard that know of Jormungandr. There are others scattered of the great beast that encapsulates the world. This, though layered in many, many obfuscations, there is truth. I can take you to the astral, wherein the final thing holding the prime material in place through all of this is the great world dreadnought. Break it, sever it, and we will free the prime material. We will free it to drift, no longer bound by this great wheel of cosmology. And with that, the spectral amethyst dragon's wings wrap around each of you, forming this cocoon. And as it wraps, you grow closer and closer in something almost familiar to your demise. But as you warp and pop, you will find yourselves in a starry sea. So I will move us to our final combat encounter. With this, as you find yourselves within this astral sea, the ethereal border is what is most akin to Miskethema's form. As she releases you, she looks out to where legions of warriors are attempting to cross the plains to aid the Dominus Porta. Miskethema looks at you. I must go. They cannot be allowed to assist in the Outlands. While I give you time, I beg you, descend deep into the astral and defeat the great world dreadnought, sever it, and release the world. Do so before the Dominus Porta's plan finishes and before ruin will be wreaked upon the world. With that, Miskethema flies off to prevent the additional forces from joining in the Outlands, and you lot are set to defeat the world dreadnought. You lot will be beginning in the ethereal border. You will have to pass through the elemental border where, as the world is fracturing, you have these elemental weirds mixing chaos of the different types, magmas and storms and galvanic metals. Already wandering encounters through this astral sea. Throughout the upper and lower plane borders, we have Githyanki pirates and looters attempting to take advantage of this time of turmoil before eventually getting to the deep astral, the great world dreadnought. we will once again enter into our initiative as we are stacking both of our combats together. So I have to redo our initiative deck, but then we'll be good to go. Feel free to talk while I get this done.
No, I'm sorry that we put the combat right next to each other. I'm sure that'll make for a great viewing experience.
No, it's okay. The other people started with combat and then had 1,000 other encounters before finishing with combat.
Hey, if you only want to see the combat portion of the system, 9 minutes in.
We have bookended this with combat. Everything else is just us telling a nice little story. Okay. F, go ahead and give me a number 1 to 3.
3.
Monkey, go ahead and give me a number 1 to 3. Did you say 1?
Yeah.
Okay. And then...
I guess I'll take 2 then.
You'll take 2? Okay. Cool. So this has been shuffled with this. We do have the need from the ethereal border, you have to go to the elemental border. But from there, you can split either upper or lower and then continue on to the deep astral from there. Though you may find need to back up throughout this. We'll find out how it goes. But for now, the first person to go is going to be the Dreadnought. So, as the Dreadnought is going to go first, it is just rotating around. For those of you who do not know what an Astro Dreadnought is, it is the combination of essentially the head of a beholder onto the arms of a giant demon crab that then extends out into a snake-like body that continues on into eternity. That is kind of the physical description. You have an image before you, but this is the kaiju of all kaiju, because it's within the astral, it never ends. It just continues on forever. And as the great cosmological wheel is being damaged, and there is nothing yet attracting its attention, the deep astral dreadnought of the world is simply going to grow in power as its anger grows at the destruction of what it is binding. So, it just powered up a little bit. From there, we're going to go... we're going to go to the Githyanki looter pirates. And on their turns, having nothing yet to do, they are going to continue to fly about and gain members. And so they're going to continue to call in the forces of this great endeavor. So let's go ahead and... Oops, wrong button.
No, they're summoning Darrens.
They're summoning Darrens. They're going to spawn another Sky Pirate Brigade as they are growing in their lootership. From there, we go to Valen. Valen, you always get to go first among your party.
You know what? That's fine. We're all grouped together. This is probably the only opportunity I'm really going to get to do it anyway, so I'm going to do my Power 4 group heal, because we need it.
Okay. With that, I believe that brings Valen back up to 9, Torin to full, and Darren to 9.
Didn't know you took that much. I'm sorry, I didn't.
So what does it look like to your group heal?
It is my aura of vitality, so yeah, it's fuzzy, bubbly, and everybody feels like they're having a great time at a tavern, even though we're in the ethereal border. Yeah.
Fantastic. With that, we will go on to Darren.
Alright, so, way I see it, y'all ever watch Ender's Game?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to remember what the phrase was, but like, forward is down or something like that. Gravity is down. I don't know. Straight for the
Top
big
is down.
Top is down. That doesn't sound right. But anyways, we're going for the big thing. It's not like a plan. Like, if we just ignore everything else, like, I'm sure Torin, you got some big solo attacks.
I have one. This is a different system.
Well, right. Yeah, but like, you've got something in the tank for a big solo attack. Leyland, do you have anything left? Because I know you used your reactive and your heal recently.
Nope, I just used everything. I am tapped out.
Okay, keep the minions off us.
Yep, I'm gonna be whacking things.
That said, do we need to fight anything in the elemental order?
Not yet, just run.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Hey guys!
I find
The
it.
enemy's gate is down. That's what it was.
The enemy's gate is down. I find it notable that Darren is choosing to go through the lower plane border as opposed to the upper plane border.
Well, she's used to fighting things.
There you go.
And also, I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot what they meant. I just picked a side, and Torin was on the right, so I figured we go on together.
Perfectly fine. With that, we will go on to Torin.
And Torin will follow Daniel's lead, or Darren's lead. And there I am.
Okay, and with that, we're going to go on to the elemental weirds. And with that, following the greatest sparks of life, the greatest notions of the living, like little magnet mines, the elemental weirds are just going to kind of, well, what? And just kind of like follow down. And with that, as they get here, they're gonna hit you with waves of elemental energy, sparks. They're gonna hit you with flares of fire and all of that wonderfulness. Both Darren and Torin, the first hit you take from these guys is going to be more stunning and choking than any actual damage. The next ability you guys use is going to have -1 power. And then our third weird, because there isn't another one of you, is going to double up, and that's where you're going to get 1 point of damage, and that's going to go towards Torin. So Torin, you're going to take 1 point of damage as there's more lightning and more choke and more toxins and more EMP blasts and all of that stuff that, as opposed to just disorienting, it does a point of damage. So now everyone's at 9 hit points. Okay, and then on each of your tokens, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little lightning symbol as a reminder that your next ability is going to have -1 power level. And with that, that is the end of the weirds. And we go on to the shuffle of the initiative deck. And we're just going to do one this time. So, Monkey, go ahead and give me 2 numbers.
Range? Is it 1 through 4?
Sure.
Okay. 2 and 4.
Okay. And with that, as we start up on the next initiative, the weirds go first. So they have just gone last, and they're coming in full force. And with that, you guys are each going to take another minus as they stack. You guys are currently at -2 for the next ability that you use. And this time, Darren, you're going to take the bonus damage. And with that, as they continue to just pile on and almost grow across you like elemental elemental cocoons trying to drag you down and absorb you. We do go on to Darren.
Okay. So you say they're growing onto us, right?
Yes.
By that logic, if I hit them, will they, like... Will we lose debuffs?
The very nature of you making an attack will reduce your debuff. You cannot undebuff Torin because it's also electricity in his system and things like that.
Okay. Well, let's get these debuffs off us. I'm gonna take these weirds out that are on me.
Okay. What ability are you going to use?
I'm going to hit things twice. Or do I only get to hit things once? Because I'm not. You don't get to hit things twice because you're not moving, right?
Correct. You only get one action, and if you do not have a group attack, you can only hit one minion at a time. I will say you are currently at a -2, and that brings your basic attack below 0.
That is fair. However, I am not smiting a minion. Will both debuffs go away at once?
Yes, both debuffs will go away at once.
Thorin, the enemy's gate is down. But, like, get closer to it so something hits you first. So I can shield you, get rid of the debuffs. No, that sounds like a bad plan. I'm just gonna hit, I guess.
Okay.
And miss, I guess.
Yeah, essentially you're fighting and you're like trying to break through the layers of growing earth and metal, and you're trying to re-get control of the spazzing in your muscles and all of that. And as you attempt to make a basic attack, you're going to get rid of the debuffs as you fight through. With that, we'll move on to the pirates. Torin, the thing that you wanted so much earlier is coming to pass, as all of the pirates are going to pile in, and they're going to see the giant flaming axe, the enchanted clubs, the wonderful armor, the orichalcum eye, and they're going to see this as their opportunity to loot your corpses, even if they have to help make you corpses first. And each of them are going to go ahead and just do minion attacks, trying to down you guys. So 2 of them are going to attack Torin for 2 damage total, and then 2 of them are going to attack Darren for 2 damage total. Do either of you have defense abilities you wish to use?
Not I.
I'm not gonna use it yet.
Okay, so Darren, you should be down to 6 health, and Torin, you should be down to 7.
Okie dokie.
And with that, as they're shooting like these plasma across you, using psionic abilities and using radiant abilities from their austere Githyanki nature. You do see some of them flaring, flashing silvered swords and the like. Their initial intention was like, oh, we can cut silvery cords, but you don't have them because you're already spirits. We will move on to the Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought is going to continue to grow in power at a exponential rate. It just gained twice the amount of power that it did last turn.
Oh god.
Yeah, not going good here, guys.
It's okay. Galen's gonna come up and kill a weird, but we'll work that out.
Torin. Torin, it
Yes,
is your
sir.
turn.
All right, I will take an attack at this guy closest to straight above me.
Okay, a basic attack on one of the weirds.
Yep.
Okay, defeating a weird. Actually, not defeating a weird.
It just gets rid of my debuffs.
It just gets rid of your debuffs. So as you continue to fight, getting control of your body once more, as the elemental natures are building up and bringing you down, would you like to move any regions?
Yeah, I can only move one at a time, right?
Correct.
I'll move over here to the upper border.
Okay.
So at least I'm away from any more of that for a moment, anyway.
Okay, kind of withdrawing to the side, allowing your companion to take all the attention to give yourself the opportunity to fully approach the enemy gate, as we've been speaking, though it is more of an... I guess it is a gate. The entire thing is a gate.
I didn't mean to hit you with that, but nice.
I mean, if you guys don't know, if you end up in the Astral Dreadnought's stomach, that is a demiplane. He is a gate, and then him being the World Dreadnought is a gate. It's just... There's layers to this. Valen, it's your turn.
I am going to pop over down here with Torin and look across the border and just be like, that's a lot going on over there.
Darren gives you a thumbs up.
Okay. With that, we're back to shuffling the initiative deck. We are like so far from completing this combat, but so close with how this system works.
If Torin optionally and I definitely get in there before the weirds, we can probably like double KO the Dreadnought maybe, or at least get it low.
Okay, F, can you go ahead and give me 2 numbers?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Cool. With that, the beginning of this initiative is gonna be the Dreadnought. So it's going to continue to grow as now you guys witness cracks through the astral sea spreading throughout as the Dominus Porta's plan is growing and beginning to take hold. So we're gonna pop that up. To there. Cool. And that is the Dreadnought's turn. And with that, we go to Valen.
Are we supposed to be able to see the Dreadnought's health?
I will make it visible. It started at
curious,
full and has only gone up.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because the last one. But anyway, I'm gonna pop over here, and I'm gonna help Darren here add dissonant whispers these weirds, so that she can pop them as they run away.
There you go. With that, we are gonna go on to the weirds. As they can.
The worst possible outcome.
Yes, it is. As they're going to jolt, and that is going to. There's only 2 weirds and 2 of you, so each of you are going to take the 1 power debuff. I will say that with that though, Darren, you are a hero, are you not?
I can kill a minion.
You can kill a minion, yes. So as you guys are now being shocked once more, switching out who's there, we do go on to Darren.
Wait, question. Can I defend Valen?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'm defending Valen. I want him to not be debuffed, so
Okay.
he can kill the other minion.
Okay.
If you can kill the other weird, then Torin can go straight to the Dreadnought and start smiting. Well, maybe. The flame smiting,
Okay.
Pyroing.
Well, from there, Darren, not only have you defended, you have also defeated one of the weirds previous, or right here. So we have 2 weirds left, and we go on to Torin.
Alright, I think we know what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use my, hold on. Rising Strike. Power 4, it's an attack, and it is solo, so that should be 8.
Okay. That is an attack for 8. You barely get into its actual danger level as you just come in this massive swing and you just knock this thing's anger and it's like it's concern with the cosmos around it, and you bring its focus back to the here and now.
Well, it wasn't as much damage as I would have hoped for, but at least it got his attention off of getting bigger and uglier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got through his overheal and you got him. You got it aggro. Just don't die.
Speaking of don't die to the next hit, we're gonna go to the pirates. And the pirates are going to go ahead and, yeah, like, they don't care who's in the lower border, and they're not dumb enough to go to the deep astral. So they're going to continue to, like, okay, we still have Darren. We switched out this dragonborn with this halfling, but, you know, he's got a really nice war horn and staff and all that. Nice torque, nice jewelry. So they're going to continue on with their attacks on you two, and none of those weird debuff things. It's just 2 damage each. So Valen, I believe you're down to 3. And Darren, you're down to 5, or 4, I believe.
I lost a debuff. No, I haven't hit the other one yet. Never mind.
Not yet. Okay, and that's the end of that initiative.
How did you get me down to 3?
Where were you?
I haven't been.
Oh, you were back up at 9. Yes, you were correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that brings me down to 7.
Yes, you're correct. I have my numbers spreading across the page, and I continue to spread down instead of jumping back up to where I jumped you back up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I got my sheet over here. I'm tracking it this time. I remember I lost track last time. So.
Thank you for calling me out. Vox, go ahead and give me 2 numbers.
Let's go with 3 and 2.
Okay. So at the top of this initiative, we have Valen.
You will.
All right.
You will.
I will. I guess I'm gonna pop this other weird. I'm gonna whisper at it, and Darren's gonna pop it.
Okay. And with that, defeating the weird, following Darren's plan for figuring out how to get out of this growing electrical situation. Anything else?
I believe I'm gonna sit here and help absorb damage. So.
Okay. Focusing on all these minions. We'll move on to Darren.
Pop a weird. Valen. Will you be okay?
I got him.
Enemy skates it down. Don't be afraid to just run without us.
Okay. With that, the Weird's turn was next, so they're gone. And we move on to Torin.
And I'm out of special skills, so it just be a regular attack. However, being an attack, does it get actually the bonus for it to be a 2, or is it still 1?
Basic attack is just going to be 1.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Thank you for asking. Okay, as you you got its attention, and now you're like working on it, trying to like now defeat it, kill it, chop it in half, however you have to do to defeat this eternal, infinite creature. With there, we go on to the pirates, and like I said earlier, the pirates are not stupid enough to go to that great beast. And with that, they're all going to attack Valen. Valen, that's 4 incoming damage.
Now I'm down to 3.
As you have space pirates doing space pirate things. I actually want to throw this back to you. I've given the description a couple times of these attacks. I want to know how you're weathering it.
Honestly, Valen is just like doing the best he can to hold his shield up and getting his little old legs to try to like outmaneuver these guys. I'm running around. I'm trying to run and hold my shield above my head.
Okay, as you drift through the astral, just legs pumping despite not doing anything.
Yep.
With that, we're going to move on to the Dreadnought's turn, the first turn that the Dreadnought has had, and it is going to lash out with all its anger, all its range, these massive pincers, but also this temporal and space magic that is innate to its capability. With 2 people in its space, it's going to start off attacking Torin with claws. Torin, that's going to be for 5 damage.
Ouch.
I believe that takes you to 2.
That's my calculation.
Okay. And while both Torin and Darren is, this is a lot happening all together, trying to attack, break down, attack, defeat this entity, defeat this creature. Darren is going to disappear from space. Darren is just going to wink out of existence, and temporarily, Darren, you're going to find yourself within the locked dungeon of the demi-space within this entity. As you then, through your charisma, through your force of personality, you force yourself back out. You begin fighting with Torin again to defeat this creature, and you wink out of space again as you're in, out, in, out, in, out. This is just going to do 3 plot damage. As you are fighting a being with the control of space and time before it, and that is slowing you guys down trying to defeat it. So we went from it growing and growing and growing with no attention to so much attention, and this thing just physically crushing Torin, but also warping reality around itself. With that, that is the end of that initiative. And let's shuffle once more. Darren, you get to go first.
So, while the plan essentially hasn't changed, there's been a slight wording change. Darren flips over and uses the clubs in an X. The enemy's gate is up. I'm smiting the shit out of this thing. I probably wasn't supposed to curse. I'm smiting the crud out of this thing.
You're fine. But yes.
That will be 8 damage.
Okay, with a power level 4 for 8 damage. This is significant. This is after Torin got its attention back on the here and now, and then you have dealt with the crushing claws, the warping of space-time all around. You take the opportunity when you're right there in front of it and just double smite down, blasting through. You gouged this thing's central eye out. The central eye that acts as an anti-magic cone, as this thing is now reeling in its form.
Good idea.
And with that, is that the end of your turn, Darren?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Surely not all 4 Githyanki pirates would attack me. And if I go on the upper border, I don't think Dreadnought will attack me. So I can come in and hit it again.
Okay, gonna retreat?
No, but I'm gonna encourage Torn to.
Actually, that was my plan before you even started saying any of that.
How much HP do you have?
How much what?
HP do you have?
2.
Oh. And Balin has 3?
Yep.
I don't know if it'll work. Good luck. I'm gonna stand my ground and try and take aggro. I just hit the dude real hard.
Yes, you did. Well, based on the draw of the initiative, Torin is next.
Good, I will take my basic attack at him. And I'm going to run like hell to the upper border.
Okay, as you carve into it, bringing this thing low, bringing it deep, pulling yourself back up into the upper planes border of the astral, attempting to get some space. Things look dire, but there's an end in sight. Unfortunately, the Dreadnought goes next. And with it, Darren standing her ground, the claws fully come for her. And as they get a grip on her and begin to squeeze, that is 5 points of damage.
Okay, I'm only hitting 1.
Okay, and with that, as you witness Darren drop unconscious, the world affected by a shock wave. You guys get hit as the planes are beginning to fracture, and time is very limited. With that, that is going to be a cut moment for jumping to the other situation before we jump back. But yeah, we're going to jump back to your guys' combat. I need a phrase to start this. Where are we? Returning to the astral. Torin having retreated for the moment to seize the proper opportunity. Valen still dealing with the waves of pirates all about. And the fractured form of the spiritual Darren being brought under this world dreadnought. We remain in a trepidatious state, as Valen, you will continue to be harried by pirates. However, the gamble of the upper border not being a danger, a little bit false, as we're going to have 2 Githyanki pirates break off for Torin.
Oh my god, 2 of them? That's my death rate.
The other 2 at Valen. And as they proceed to harry, flying by, whisking shots of arrows, clippings of silver swords, trying to bring you lot under, that is 2 damage to Torin and 2 damage to Valen.
I'm down.
I've got 1 left, but there's nothing I can do.
You can do something.
Actually, yeah, there is,
Sorry.
Valen. You can go down to the deep astral and take a final strike at that guy.
My basic attack won't hurt him.
Expert.
You don't have a basic attack?
I'm an expert. I have narrative abilities.
Yeah, his basic attack affects narratives.
Okay, I see.
Valen, it is your turn.
Well, I died with you guys once. Not this time.
Valen, are you retreating?
I'm retreating. I can't defeat him. There's nothing I can do to damage the dreadnought.
Okay. And witnessing the Githyanki pirates bringing Torin down for that treasure that is therein. Witnessing the world dreadnought bringing low the hero that sought to oppose it single-handedly. Valen, storyteller of the afterlife, you witness this in your retreat. And as the world dreadnought refocuses itself, no longer harried by Darren nor Torin, barely holding itself together, another shockwave erupts outward from the planes themselves as that ritual that the Dominus Porta was attempting to finish hits its note. And as the world peels, the very space that you are in begins to collapse in on itself. The ethereal border, elemental border, upper and lower planar borders themselves warping and twisting and pulling you all astray from each other, as each of them being segmented into the atmospheres, the layers of air and border space, creating the shells of forming planets. You witness this darkness coiling through space. You witness the remains, the fragments of elder evils spreading out through this forming cosmos to an unknown world beyond.